The way that you described, or Nicola Willis rather had to describe the system yesterday, it's not how you wanted to implement this reimbursement. It is going to be every 3 months. How long will it take once a parent uploads their invoices? How long will it take for them to get their money back?
Good question.
Well, look, it's not what we ideally want. We want to be able to do it and be able to pay people weekly. The systems don't support doing that, but we are determined to get people this relief and the support that they need in a cost of living crisis. So yes, it's a bit of a different process. The money still comes through, $975 each quarter. There's a quarterly submission process of invoices. Already yesterday, we had one of the largest providers saying that they're going to try and make life much easier by actually preparing 3-month invoices for families. They want their
who do you think? Who are we all guessing? I think it's pretty clear.
families to be able to access this money and these funds and make it as easy as possible.
And then once you submit the invoice, how long do you expect it will be until parents can get the money back?
Oh, it'll be as quickly as possible. IRD will make sure we operationalise that as quickly as possible to get the funds back into people's bank accounts each quarter.
Can you give us any sort of time frame?
Oh, no, that'll be up to IRD to work through and to make sure. But, yeah, they've got a good history of making sure the payments get to people's bank accounts quickly. And that's the important thing. It gets straight into their bank accounts.
That's actually not the important thing. The important thing is people being able to pay for their kids' childcare, whether it goes straight to their bank account or not. Let's just roll straight into this last one, and then we can wrap up this part of the conversation because it kind of leads out of the last one quite cleanly. That Luxon gets asked about IRD needing more staff, and again, not really much of an answer. But like I said, it could be up to 400,000 invoices a year, new invoices a year. That's going to need a staff to take care of.
IRD are going to have to hire more staff for this, aren't they?
Oh, again, that'll be up for them, but we've built that into the costs around this program.
They've said they're going to have to hire more staff. Do you know how many more staff they're going to have to hire to implement this policy?
Again, we've built that into the $723 million the program actually.
So if you've built it in, then you know the answer to my question. How many? Because you can't have built it in without having this many people costs this much money. So now, Mr. Luxon, could you please answer the question? Because you say it's built in, so how many?
Costs, and that's all part of making sure we can implement it, make sure we get the money back into people's bank accounts so they get some relief in a cost of living crisis.
How much does the extra staff cost for them to check each and every invoice and make those payments back to families? Again,
Anna, I'd just say to you, it's all manageable. We've worked that up in the back.
Sure. So because you've worked it out, you have a number. What is that number?
Ground with
I'm sure it is. Can you give us the number?
Well, I'm just saying those are choices for IRD to make sure they're staffed up to deliver it, and they will be, and they are. What we're doing is we're telling people early and making sure that people understand that this is going to be available so they can actually get organised, and ECE providers can get organised to help and support their parents. What's really important, Anna, if you're out there in New Zealand at the moment, it is tough. And if you're dealing with rising levels of food prices, fuel, rent, mortgage rates, I can tell you what parents are really hearing from this story and this conversation is they're getting $975 a quarter to help defray some of their early childhood expenses, which are high.
So here's the other thing that this government's doing. They are cutting back on public servants and loading more work onto that department. IRD needs to find savings. 16,000 bureaucrats. IRD has to cut back on the number of people. Right, all government departments are, but just backroom people too, just backroom people, like the accountants and stuff out the back of IRD. So there's going to be a cutting down of people whilst they're loading more work onto the department. And then it's not going to work, it's going to fail, and like we've been saying, then they'll stand back and say, see, we've told you all along, team, government's broken, but we can fix it after they've broken it.